Good evening. Welcome to Kenya News Update today. I'm your host, and this is our 12-minute deep dive into the stories shaping our world. Tonight, we're connecting the dots between a market crackdown in Ghana, a diplomatic scandal with Russian ties, the rebirth of an African architectural icon, and a massive investment to tackle one of Kenya's most persistent public health crises. We begin in Accra, Ghana, where authorities are taking a hard line on urban congestion. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly, in collaboration with the Joy Clean Ghana initiative, has just arrested 4 traders during a renewed decongestion exercise at the Agbogbloshie market. This comes just 1 week after these same traders were cleared from the same unauthorized spots. The exercise, held on Wednesday, February 18, 2026, is part of an ongoing effort by the Assembly's Health Directorate to remove traders from roadsides, drains, and pavements. The stated goals are to improve sanitation and ease the notorious traffic congestion within the market enclave. But this story raises a fundamental question about urban governance in fast-growing African cities. Is this a necessary enforcement of public order, or a punitive cycle that fails to address the root causes of informal trade? Let's examine the numbers. The AMA reportedly deploys over 120 personnel for these major operations. The cost of a single major decongestion exercise like this one is estimated at over 100,000 Ghanaian cedis. Yet, the recidivism rate is stark. In the Agbogbloshie area alone, an estimated 70% of traders return to unauthorized spots within 1 week of a clearance operation. This creates a costly and seemingly endless cycle. The 4 arrests this week bring the total number of traders detained in similar operations across Accra this month to 15. Proponents of the crackdown argue it's essential. They point to a 15% reduction in traffic, related emergency response times in cleared corridors, and a measurable drop in cholera outbreaks linked to blocked drains. The city's mayor has stated that the goal is not to punish traders, but to reclaim public space for all citizens. However, critics, including several local NGOs, counter that these operations are a band-aid solution. They argue that without providing affordable, alternative trading spaces and addressing the underlying economic pressures, the problem will simply migrate to another street. They cite a survey showing that 85% of the affected traders have no access to formal market stalls due to high rents, which can be as much as 500 cedis per month. This is a classic urban dilemma playing out from Nairobi to Lagos. The need for orderly, sanitary cities versus the survival imperatives of a large informal economy. The AMA insists this is about long-term planning, but for the trader arrested for the second time in 7 days, it feels like a trap. Now, let's pivot to a story that connects Ghana, Kenya, and international diplomacy in a most unexpected way. A viral social media scandal has taken a dramatic turn, exposing the complexities of digital identity and diplomatic protocol. For the past week, a series of TikTok videos featuring a man, purportedly a Russian tourist, in intimate encounters with women from Ghana and Kenya, has dominated online conversations across the continent. The man's confident claims of being a wealthy Russian traveler sparked outrage, curiosity, and a diplomatic incident. On Tuesday, February 17th, Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, took the serious step of summoning the Russian ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Sergei Berdnikov, for clarifications. The Ghanaian government sought to verify the man's identity and nationality, concerned about the potential for exploitation and the broader implications. The Russian response, delivered on Wednesday, February 18th, has added fuel to the fire. Russian authorities have now admitted that they cannot confirm the identity or nationality of the man at the center of the viral videos. This official, we don't know, has transformed a salacious online story into a geopolitical puzzle. It raises immediate questions. If he is not Russian, who is he and why claim that identity? The speculation is rampant. Could this be a sophisticated disinformation campaign? A private individual's fantasy? Or something else entirely? The incident has triggered a broader debate about digital accountability and the speed at which online narratives can force real-world diplomatic actions. Ghana's move to summon an ambassador over a TikTok trend is unprecedented. It signals how seriously governments now take the intersection of social media, national image, and foreign relations. In Kenya, where similar videos circulated, social media analysts noted the videos were viewed over 2 million times in a 48-hour period. The Kenyan Cybercrime Unit has reportedly opened preliminary inquiries, though no official statement has been made. This story is a perfect case study for the 21st century. A single individual, leveraging the power of viral platforms, can inadvertently trigger a chain of events involving foreign ministries, intelligence queries, and national conversations about morality and media. The unanswered question of who is he now hangs over what started as a series of private, leaked moments. From the turbulence of viral scandals, we turn to a story of preservation, pride, and Pan-African heritage. In Addis Ababa, a modernist masterpiece has been reborn, winning international acclaim. The historic Africa Hall, the site where the Organization of African Unity was founded in 1963, has just been awarded the prestigious World Monuments Fund/Knoll Modernism prize following a monumental restoration. Designed by Italian architect Arturo Mezzademi and completed in 1961, Africa Hall is hailed as one of the defining achievements of African modernist architecture. But by the early 2000s, time had taken its toll. The restoration project was astonishing in its scale and detail. The most eye-popping statistic? The project required 13 million new tiles to refurbish the iconic facade and interiors. Yes, you heard that right, 13 million individual tiles. The total cost of this painstaking rebirth was £42 million, a massive investment in cultural heritage. The work, which took over 5.5 years to complete, involved hundreds of Ethiopian and international artisans. They worked to preserve Mezzademi's original vision while integrating modern seismic safety standards and energy-efficient systems. The result is not just a restored building, but a revitalized symbol. Africa Hall is more than architecture. It is the physical birthplace of the Continental Unity Project. Hosting that founding OAU meeting, which was attended by 32 independent African states, it witnessed the speeches of giants like Kwame Nkrumah and Haile Selassie. Its restoration sends a powerful message about the value Africa places on its own history and aesthetic legacy. In an era where new, flashy constructions often dominate headlines, this prize celebrates the profound importance of maintaining our tangible links to the past. It's a £42 million statement that African history is worth preserving in its most magnificent forms. Finally, we bring our focus home to Kenya, where the government, with a crucial international partner, is launching a major offensive against a silent and stubborn enemy. The government of Japan, in partnership with UNICEF, has just inked a deal worth 515 million Kenyan shillings. The target? Eradicating open defecation and securing clean water for the nation's most vulnerable populations. Open defecation, the practice of using open land and waterways as a toilet, remains one of the most persistent barriers to public health and dignity in Kenya and across the developing world. The consequences are severe, leading to the spread of diarrheal diseases like cholera, typhoid, and dysentery, which are particularly deadly for children under 5. Let's look at the scope of the challenge. According to the latest Joint Monitoring Program data, approximately 15% of Kenya's rural population, or about 7 million people, still practice open defecation. In some arid and semi-arid land counties, that figure can soar to over 60% of households. The economic cost is staggering. The World Bank estimates that poor sanitation costs Kenya nearly 27 billion shillings annually, or about 1% of its GDP, in healthcare costs and lost productivity. The new Japanese-funded program will target 15 high-burden counties over the next 3 years. The strategy is multifaceted. It involves constructing and rehabilitating community-led sanitation facilities, promoting household latrine ownership through subsidies and behavior change campaigns, and protecting water sources from contamination. A key innovation is the focus on market-based sanitation, stimulating local businesses to produce and sell affordable sanitation products. The goal is ambitious: to help 1 million people gain access to basic sanitation services and to declare at least 200 communities as open defecation-free zones. This is not just about building toilets. It's about shifting deep-seated social norms, empowering women and girls who are most at risk when seeking privacy, and fundamentally upgrading the country's human infrastructure. Success would mean fewer sick days, lower child mortality, and a major step forward in national dignity. So what connects these 4 stories? On the surface, they span architecture, diplomacy, urban policy, and public health. But at their core, each is about the struggle to define order, identity, and dignity in a rapidly changing world. In Accra, it's the order of the urban landscape versus the chaos of economic necessity. In the viral video scandal, it's the struggle to establish a true identity amidst digital fiction and diplomatic fact. In Addis Ababa, it's about creating order and beauty that honors a shared historical identity. And in Kenya, it's the most fundamental order of all, securing basic human dignity and health for all citizens. These stories remind us that progress is rarely a straight line. It involves crackdowns and comebacks, scandals and summits, crumbling tiles and new foundations. It's messy, contentious, and expensive. But the alternative, congestion without solution, misinformation without accountability, heritage left to decay, and preventable disease, is simply not an option. The through line is a continent actively, sometimes clumsily, but always persistently, engaging with its challenges and celebrating its triumphs. From the streets of Agbogbloshie to the halls of diplomacy, from restored architectural gems to the fight for clean water, Africa is writing its own complex, multifaceted story. And we will be here to follow every chapter. That's our deep dive for this evening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today.